Next is team 3, which I believe is Scott.
Okay. Scott, is your team ready?
If I can unmute, yes. So,
okay. And then we have the correct prototype in front of us for you?
yes, it's unfortunately fairly rough. We took a more conceptual approach to things.
No worries. We appreciate how hard this is to do, removed from us physically, and appreciate all your contributions. So Scott, if you would please start with your problem statement and then explain your prototype within a 3-minute window. We sure would appreciate it.
Hold on, let me get to our problem statement. Miro is...
It looks like you've got it on your prototype board there.
Okay.
If I'm reading correctly.
Yeah. How might we help library workers at all levels of career growth define, develop, and iterate their own learning journey to cultivate professional satisfaction and support organizational health? And what we conceptualized for this, first of all, we did locate an existing solution that is called the skill type platform. And Amy can probably tell you a little bit more about that once I describe our conceptual drawing. And what we saw this as was more that development occurs at various levels. So we envisioned sort of like an interlocking set of gears that would all move together. But the gears are all functionally connected to various other side things, almost sort of like outside spider webs. Mostly because there's a lot of outside development that occurs, and development builds upon itself. And those sets of skills, when you're at introductory levels, for early career professionals tend to be much broader. For mid-career professionals, there tends to be a focusing, and for senior level members and senior staff, library workers, they tend to be a fairly narrow set of activities and type of professional development that are focused in on not just their own personal development, but at each phase you become more organizationally aware. So your role, your outside resources become smaller, but you're much more influential on your own organization. And if you wanted to talk about skill type platform, Amy.
Sure. I don't have much to say about skill type. I linked it in Miro. It's a platform that basically identifies gaps in skills and helps administrators and other folks in the industry sort of create their own learning journey. It's an existing solution that addresses the exact problem we were talking about. I did not put it up here to sell it. Our institution doesn't use skill type, so I'm not deeply familiar with the way it works. But one of the things that made it harder to create a working prototype for us is the solution we're looking for is something that helps folks identify their own gaps in skills and how it relates to changes within the industry and changes within the external landscape that they work in. And we didn't want to say another toolbox.
Okay, is that it? There you go, right on time. All right, thank you for sharing. Right, let's get a round of applause for all of you. And if you would please evaluate again, team number 3. Team number 3, if you could please complete your evaluation quickly as we prepare the next team. Crystal, who's up next for us? Number 1. Okay, we'll give everybody just a moment to finish their evaluation for team number 3. All right, let's turn it over to team number 1. Your problem statement, please, and explain your solution.
Okay, thank you everyone for today's meeting, and I'm very grateful to work with our team. So the new problem statement for us is how do we make the library science field more attractive? Because the main problem was how do we help library information science professionals and students advocate for the field and their own skills. to emphasize the importance of the information science globally. We make it shorter to just make it more attractive. So based on that, we just consider several options, and we just categorize the people who are under this to just watch this to the students, to the professionals, and to the people who are out and they are seeking for the job probably in this field. So I'm gonna, for the solution that we find, I'm gonna transfer to the Laura, and then Beth, and then Daniel can just share all the ideas they have. Laura, can you just continue with the solution?
So it was actually Beth's idea. At Beth's institution, they've implemented this method of setting up the job information. So when they're hiring people, they have an outside person ask why specific requirements are required and try to get to the root of this. That doesn't work for every institution. So our idea was coming up with more of a system of using that why to get to the core that even small institutions who don't have an outside person could use. And Beth can explain a little bit more about what that actually looks like at an institution.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, because I'm at a university that's larger, we have this thing called the Search Advocate Program, which in a way you could just go through that training in order to understand kind of how to, the whys is what we determined with the why exercise. It's a really good one to kind of bring it down to scale, because for us, we make sure someone outside of the library is our search advocate on our searches so that they can question, why does that person need to have 3 years of library experience? Couldn't they get the experience through other means? Or do they have to have that degree, or could they get it through other ways? So they really kind of question what the job is all about, what you really need for the job. And so then hence, what do you need for the person? And there's a whole long process about it I won't go into, but I think just simply getting that mindset and training people hiring with that mindset of asking the whys and unpacking that will help us get down to the basics of hiring what we need and not what we think we need. And in the end, hopefully that'll make it more attractive. We didn't actually get to all of the employee needs of hierarchy, but like, how do we get those basic needs met so that everyone can find their ideal job? I don't know, Danielle, if there's more to add.
And then I think one other thing we were thinking about is longer term to help organizations as a whole make some of these materials available online, and possibly make experts available so that they could serve as that outside person for smaller organizations who might not have that in-house.
Okay, is that it? Not that it wasn't enough, I just don't want to cut anybody.